So the Shunammite returned. Elisha once said to the woman whose son he had restored to life, "Get ready, leave with your household and live wherever you can, because the Lord has decreed a 7-year famine." He had relationship with her. She had previously put him up in her upper room. And when she did it, she made sure that he was covered. She fed him. She clothed him. She made sure that as he went to and fro, all he had to do was stop by. When he stopped by, he already could come all the way into the house. Her husband was in agreement with her. So now watch. Had it not mattered, she still would have done it. So get ready, leave with your household and live wherever you can, because the Lord has decreed a 7-year famine which is coming upon the land. The woman got ready and did as the man of God said, setting out with her household and living in the land of the Philistines for 7 years. 7 is the number of completion. Okay. We know about the Philistines because Goliath comes from the Philistines. He said, "You uncircumcised Philistine." He said, "I take you out with the word of the Lord." So he said, at the end of the 7 years, the woman returned from the land of the Philistines and went out to the king to appeal for her house and her field. But she already had a relationship with the King of Kings, God. So then the king was talking with Gehazi, the servant of the man of God. "Tell me all the great things that Elijah has done." Just as he was telling the king how his master had restored a dead person to life because her son had died. And then Elisha went and laid on him. And he coughed 7 times and he came back to living. He faced him. He got in his face. And he made sure that the Lord's word did not return void unto him. Because he said, "This time next year you'll be with child." And she wasn't looking for a child. But God was concerned about that which concerned her. He said, "I'll perfect that which concerneth you." So Elijah had restored to life, came to the king appealing for her house and field. Gehazi said, "My lord king, this is the woman, and this is that son of hers whom Elijah restored to life." So the Shunammite woman again. The king questioned the woman, and she told him her story. With that, the king placed an official at her disposal, saying, "Restore all her property to her with all that the field produced from the day she left the land until now." So there was a famine in the land, but her land was still producing. That sounds like the reapers overtaking the sowers, because she didn't have to work for it. It's like she got a 7-year break without having to tend her land. He said, "You took care of my business, so I'm going to take care of your business." Yes, she had to come and do a plea, but she already had a relationship with the Lord. So I'm looking at her. I'm looking at how she couldn't control the famine. She couldn't control that her son was going to die. She couldn't control that her son was going to live, other than she could have spoke against it, and then he would have stayed dead. When they asked her what was wrong with her son, she said, "It is well." And it is said that when she said that, in the spirit something happened, and that he resurrected, but that he wasn't sitting up in his body yet. So this story is parallel to Elijah, because this is Elisha. Elijah does the same thing with a widow woman, raises her son from the dead. They die the same way. He has a headache, and he resurrects him from the dead. There's something about the cloak. It's something about the anointing. It's something about being able to walk in favor. It causes a dread that comes. So we're looking at it. And we're looking at the will of God. And I said this earlier. This is my second time doing this message. I said, when I was 7 years old, because I've never been in a wreck, my mother, she lost control of the car. And it spent in a circle, 360 degrees. But I wasn't harmed. My brother wasn't harmed. My sister wasn't harmed. And she got out of the car and her mind was gone from her. She went to a house and left us in the car for 3 or 4 hours. And we just sat there and nobody came and saw about us. The Lord was doing something. He was doing a work. So then I'm driving on my way to Ashley Furniture one day. And I was driving a Dodge Charger. And it was ice in Columbus, Ohio, on the ground. And my car started spinning a 360. I couldn't control the wheel. When I was 7, I couldn't control the wheel. And right then, I couldn't control the wheel. It's something about not being able to control the will of God. There's a perfect will of God, and then there's a permissive will of God. How can you control the will of God? Jonah thought that he could control the will of God. But he ended up having to go and preach like the Lord said to begin with. So then, David, it was the will of God that he would defeat Goliath. It was the will of God that Enoch was be caught up. It was the will of God that Elijah would be taken up in a chariot of fire. It was the will of God that the man that had his heart hardened, Pharaoh, that his heart would be hardened and he wouldn't listen to the will of God, but it was within the will of God. It was still within the perfect will of God. It wasn't the permissive will of God. It was in the perfect will of God. And they lost the tithe. They lost the firstborn of all their sons, and they lost the firstborn of their cattle. The will of God. The will of God will always have its dominion. God is not the author of confusion, but he will throw people in derision to keep you safe. That's derision. If that ain't derision, how you gonna bring a woman to yourself, her whole family? You done told her whole family to get out of the house and leave. And then you say, now I'm gonna bless you, but you won't say it. Because blessed are those who believe the words of the prophets, for they shall prosper. And if you receive a prophet in the name of prophet, you receive that prophet's reward. She received 7 years of free work. Her ground was tilled. They tended her ground. And they gave her the land. The king questioned the woman and she told him her story. With that, the king placed an official at her disposal, saying restore all her property to her with all that the field produced from the day she left the land until now. So we want to be in the perfect will of God. Lord, have your way today as you're using different mouthpieces to speak. Reveal the perfect will of God. Make manifest your desires. And sometimes the Lord will hide either the will or he'll hide you for just a season. And then he'll bring you back. Because see, if you look at it, God hid her. He hid her while he blessed her. Say, Lord, if you have to hide me, I want you to make sure that I'm receiving this blessing. Because obedience brings forth the blessing. I don't want something temporary. I want something eternal. If I can see it, it's temporary. If I can't see it, it's eternal. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. So we couldn't control the will of God. So what do? You have to stay in the will of God. Bless you.